As we all know that Reliance Jio has changed everything in the telecom sector by offering cheap data and free calls. This triggered massive consolidation in the industry, like merger between Vodafone and Idea. I am Priyanka from Disbot, and today we are going to have a word with COI Director General Rajan Mathews regarding all issues in the telecom industry like debt, burden of taxes, and expectation from the upcoming government.
Tell me that elections are coming, right, and the new government will definitely come. So I need to know what kind of expectations you have with the upcoming government.
So first of all, NDPC 2018 has been set in stone and has kind of been accepted principally by everybody. It has the inputs of the industry, all of the stakeholders. It was a very wide circulated document. So we believe that that should form the basis of whichever government comes in. So if that is adopted, the document articulates certain policy. The implications are as follows. One, the industry is in financial distress, so please make sure that that is addressed. How should it be addressed? It should be addressed by recognizing that this is not an extractive industry where you continue to extract revenue. You have to build on it so that it can really contribute to nation building. Do that by addressing the debt issue, all right, by saying is that, look, fix the interest rates, the longevity of the debt. Those are things that we've also recommended, so that's one area. Address the license fee issue, spectrum usage charge rates, both of which have been recommended by the TRAI. So we are not saying anything that has not already gone through the pipeline. And the third area that we basically said is redefine AGR so that the bone of contention between the operators and litigation aspects of it can be resolved.
And sir, you mentioned about the debt in the industry. So how much debt industry has right now?
So about 76 lakh crore rupees is worth debt, of which about 35-40,000 crore rupees is held by the government.
Sir, how much telecom industry has to pay the banks?
So the total 70 lakh crore rupees worth of debt is principally to various and sundry banks, be it foreign banks, domestic banks, and the government. These are the three major areas of debt that are out there. And as I said, about 35 to 40% of the total debt is somewhere being held by the government. The rest are various financial institutions, domestic or foreign. The merger between MTNL and BSNL will have certain synergies associated with this, and so there will be certain network efficiencies that would be obtained and derived. But the biggest problem for both entities is the fact that you have a tremendous amount of headcount from various legacy positions, and you can't sustain that and be competitive. If your total revenue can't even cover your employment bill, there's really no hope in terms of turning it around. So the government really has to say, unless you bring that down to manageable proportions and make them competitive in that realm. So that's one area. The other area that has been the bane of PSUs is what we call the procurement issue. All right, so you in this day and age have to make investments in your networks, have to upgrade on a timely basis. You can't be spending 6 and 7 years making a decision on how you'll procure. It's just not going to get this. Clearly, what we've been saying is that this industry really needs to do some introspection and some soul searching, because we've all said that these tariff rates are really not sustainable. And yes, we need to do something outside of the realm of collusion and all of those anti-competitive bases. But I think there's a reasonable basis of saying, look, you know, can these discounting continue to be viable in terms of the financial prospects for the industry? So we're suggesting that there can be regulatory means of being able to look at the situation and saying, listen, one, the industry does need to resolve it, does need to address it, and in tandem with the regulator also look at the competitive landscape and say what's good for the country.
So how much hit they are actually taking on them?
So if you look at the disclosed P&L and results, you'll notice that other than Jio, both VIL, which is Vodafone Idea, and Airtel have for the last 2 years cumulatively shown a decrease in their top line revenue of the magnitude of 40-50%. And then when you look at the issue of the return on invested capital, they're certainly negative. So look at what has happened. Telenor has exited. All those customers, look at what they've been through, right? Arcom is, in bankruptcy. Look at what their consumers went through. Look at the loss to the exchequer, to the government, to consumers. All right. Look at Tata. They're exiting. Now, these are big, significant companies, and we're saying is that listen, people should be reading the tea leaves and saying, guys, if these are happening to these types of companies that are well heeled, well capitalized, at least were once, and knew how to run major operations and companies, and are running into trouble here, we should, perk up and say, guys, please, let's take care of the interest of the long-term interest of the consumer, the long-term interest of the country.
So that's all from our side for today. Thank you so much and keep watching this board.